The perfect midfielder actually has a £77 million release clause and Liverpool are ready to pay it. Liverpool's transfer target Enzo Fernandez reportedly has a lower release clause than originally thought. It is claimed that the Argentine midfielder would be eligible for any club that paid Benfica around £77.4 million for the transfer. As a result, Liverpool reportedly targeted Fernandez as a more affordable option over Jude Bellingham. Such a price tag is allegedly within reach of the Reds. They are also said to be encouraged that Fernandez may be eligible to switch clubs during the January transfer window. All of this is reportedly good news for Real Madrid. They were also watching the Benfica man, but preferring to move forward for a move to bring Bellingham to the Bernabeu. As such, Liverpool's need for a more urgent fix is said to have given the 19-year-old a clear path for Madrid. The race to sign these two players already promises to be an epic race. Either way, it looks like Liverpool and Madrid could go head-to-head. There has been a lot of news this week that Liverpool are planning to push really hard to sign Enzo Fernandez. However, this is the first suggestion that it will come at the cost of losing Bellingham. Instead, it appears that the Reds have planned a pretty spectacular recruitment campaign and brined them both to Anfield. Now, for anyone accustomed to watching Liverpool curl up and save on the market, that seems almost unthinkable. And maybe it is. But it is worth remembering that FSG was ready to spend big to sign Aurelien Tchouameni last summer. Throughout this follow-up, there has been no suggestion that he will detract from interest in Bellingham. This should, in theory, mean that Liverpool always wanted to add two big signings to their midfield. There's no question they need it, but it will be a true statement no matter what. Fernandez, along with Bellingham, became one of the standout players during the World Cup in Qatar. It's easy to see why Benfica boss Roger Schmidt described him as excellent this season. Reports have always suggested that the 21-year-old player has a release clause of £107 million. If Marca called it right, then this double move starts to look much more doable for Liverpool. Considering the news that FSG's possible sale move is aimed at investing in increasing the transfer budget, it really does not seem like a dream to watch Jude Bellingham and Enzo Fernandez in Liverpool midfield. Moreover, considering that there is a release clause of £77.4 million, it should not be forgotten that many teams willing to pay this fee will step in. If Liverpool is quick, they may have caught the duo that will mark the next 10 years. The Reds entered the auction to sign the incredibly talented Italian teenager, with Atalanta setting the minimum price. Jürgen Klopp reportedly wanted to see Liverpool enter the race to sign one of Italian football's strongest hopes, after learning what it took to take the young star from Atalanta to Anfield. The Reds boss is ready for what is likely to have several big transfer windows in 2023. The German manager is prioritizing some midfield reinforcements and could sign 3. With Naby Keita and Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain ready for release, there are suggestions that veteran star James Milner may leave next summer as well. The evergreen midfielder will turn his mature age of 37 in a few weeks. It is widely reported that the biggest target is Jude Bellingham. The Borussia Dortmund teenager starred in the World Cup for England, making it worth at least £100 million. But a second World Cup star, Enzo Fernandez, is also on their radar. The Benfica man will also cost a large sum. However, there are doubts as to when Liverpool will reach their top 3 goals. And it's likely that for all of them deals may have to wait until summer. With money promised to Klopp to strengthen his squad, they were recently associated with the transfer of Atalanta defender Giorgio Scalvini. Liverpool's interest in Giorgio Scalvini has been confirmed by Italian sources. There are allegedly 6 clubs looking to sign the 19-year-old, who has made 11 Serie A appearances this season. The talented youngster also underlined his credentials by winning 3 caps for the senior Italy side. To this end, Roberto Mancini sees him as having a great future with the Azzurri. What Scalvini stands out for is that he not only has the ability to play in midfield, but he is also adept at playing midfield. It's not surprising to see that Nerazzurri, who likes Inter defender Alessandro Bastoni, is linked to his signature. However, there are also a number of other parties that are apparently after him. Manchester City, Bayern Munich and now Liverpool form part of the plethora of clubs willing to take it down. Italian sources claim that Atalanta knew they had a jewel in their hands. But because they are in financial trouble, they are willing to consider selling it. To that end, they are reportedly asking for at least £34.3 million for Scalvani. Either way, the newspaper claims that the auction for Scalvini is officially open, and it wouldn't be a surprise to see the player change clubs at some point this year. It is not yet clear whether Liverpool are willing to spend that on a relatively inexperienced defender. Klopp is reportedly a fan of the actor, but he may still decide to prioritize his finances elsewhere. It is clear that Liverpool will invest primarily in the midfield, but it would be wise to add such talent before the price tag goes up further. The Liverpool star was not seen at Dubai practice again, but the midfielder rejoined the group. Naby Keita spotted again at Liverpool practice. The midfielder is finally coming back from injury. The Guinean star has not played a competitive game since Manchester City's Community Shield defeat in July. Keita was back in action in their 3-1 loss to Lyon in the Dubai Super Cup last Sunday. In the last 30 minutes of the match, he came out of the bench to stand out. But on Tuesday, the Guinea national team player was not seen during Liverpool's practice session in the Middle East. Still, that might have been precautionary given how long Keita, 27, has been out. The Reds won't want to risk the former Leipzig midfielder having another problem. And today, Keita is back to practice with his teammates as Liverpool prepares to face Milan on Friday. Darwin Nunez returned to the squad earlier this week after being given leave following Uruguay's exit from the World Cup. Harvey Elliott also trained again after taking a hit in the losing game to Lyon. In addition, there was a visit from captain Jordan Henderson, who was somewhat interrupted after England were eliminated in the quarter-finals, losing 2-1 to France. However, Curtis Jones was not seen in training again. While the academy product did not appear in the game against Lyon last week, he spent one session running alone. Jones, who signed a new deal last month until the summer of 2027, suffered from tibia problems throughout the campaign. The 21-year-old midfielder was limited to just 7 games. The return of Keita at Liverpool and the return of the stars from the World Cup are certainly welcome news for Klopp. However, there is also the annoying Luis Diaz injury. The Colombian winger will have surgery and will not play for Liverpool until March. The fact that Klopp has suffered a lot from injuries does not change this season, and every day a different name is injured. Unfortunately, the biggest reason for the undesirable course of this season has been injuries. Liverpool plans to make temporary transfer moves to replace injured players in January to finish the league in the top 4.